Hello YouTube, Matt here from Vectis 3D Models. Today is a new NEM Pocket release day. Some of you have already seen these on eBay and maybe on the Made Me page and also on the Facebook page. These converters are for HSTs or Intercity 125s as you know them. I have two types of converter, so 2 packs or 3 packs if you include the trailer and power car converters only. So it spans 2 types of tooling, but it still mainly has the 1977 tooling within it, so the power cars for example. So as I say, or as I've mentioned, there are various toolings of HST over the years from Hornby. Some are the 1977 to about mid 2005-06, somewhere around that area. There's been a couple of changes, say like the Royal train pack, which has slightly different bogies. You can see one here in the middle, which is in grey. Also the Great Northeastern pack also has a slightly different type of bogie on the passenger carriages. There's also some other ones which unfortunately this doesn't include. That sort of is the old Lima tooling, which has a long shaft from the bottom and the air tank's actually stuck on the underside of the power cars, which is a bit tricky. I am looking to do that one, so if anyone wants to help, please get in touch and I'll be happy to work with you and give you some samples, as long as you can send your training and I can measure it. The 2 or 3 packs that I offer here today are, for the first pack is just for the HST Power cars or the trailing units. So these are just a clip which clip into place and have an NEM pocket at the right height and in the right place. The other packs I have are one with the trailer cars as well as 16 pockets or 8 carriages converters, so that spans the Hornby tooling, the original Hornby tooling, and then I also have what I call the Airfix type of converter, again a 16 pack or 8 carriages, which would go on the 2 toolings I've already mentioned. There might be more, I just can't figure it out quite yet, but if you see this video and you can see the type that's in the video, then you can work with it and figure out which versions you need. On eBay we have them in pack types, and on Made Me it's 1 pack, and then it gives you a link in the description to go through to the other converters for the stepped or the Airfix type of coupling converters. So if you can follow this video, any questions please pop them below in the comments section and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can, or if you're really unsure you can email me through the main page or through the Made Me page. So let's crack on and I'll take you through as we go onto the power cars first. So we'll start off with the power car converters. So this is just a pack on its own. So you just get 2 pockets which go on the trailer cars only, or the power car and the trailer I should add. As I mentioned, these are the 1977 sort of tooling which go all the way through to about mid 2005-06, something like that. Now the end trailers are quite simple. You probably may need a screwdriver to get the old big D off because it's just a clip-on, as are the new ones. So let's go straight into it. So this is a power car which you can see here. The rear bogie just simply pulls out. I'll move to one side. Now of course on the other power car with the motor it'll be slightly more tricky to get out. Don't yank it out because it has wires attached to it and all that kind of thing. Now you may need a screwdriver to get in just behind the clips. I just unclip and pull out. There we go, let's just release that one and that one, and that just pulls out like so. I'll give you the part number so you know what these are and you can look them up, but keep that for safekeeping. So it's pretty simple. We have our 2 power car NEM pockets here with the air tanks, as it replaces the original, you can see here. Now these may need a little bit of filing on the edge where the supports have been, just to make it easier to fit in. These are quite a tight fit, and they do need to go in square, like so, and they'll just clip in to where they need to, and that is at the right height, so you don't need to do anything. There you go, simple as that. And we can just put that back in, like so, and that is one converted, ready to go back on the layout. So that's all you need to do for the two power cars. That's ready to go, ready to put your coupling in, whatever you wish to use, but still there's some carriages to do. So we'll move on to the carriages next, and I'll show you what are the different types of bogie there is in this sort of tooling age that they come with, and there's various packs. So please be aware, and please double check your video and your bogies before ordering. On to the carriages, or the bogies for this HST set. We have the original type here on the right, which we'll go through in just a moment. We also, as mentioned, have the other type of tooling which occasionally pops up. Is this one here in the grey. This one I call the Airfix type, which has a clip over the top, and the tension lock pushes in and clips around the post in the centre. And I believe from looking, this comes with the Royal Train Pack, or also the GNER, or Great North Eastern Railway type of HST. But I still believe they have the original air tank big D's which clip onto the back of the bogies on the power cars. So we do two packs as well, not just the actual trailer cars or power car type. We also do the carriages as well, and these come in a pack of 16 NEM pockets, which supplies 8 carriages. So for the original tooling, Hornby tooling from 1970s onwards, we have these ones which are called the stepped NEM type, and these come with the 2 air tanks just here, and that goes with this carriage here. You'll need some tools for that, which are down here. So you'll need a Dremel cutting disc, and also a file as well as something just to roughen up the surface, say like a fiberglass brush, pencil, whatever they're called. But also we do another pack of NEM pockets, which are here, which are for the Airfix type, which come with those other 2 packs mentioned, and they also come with the 2 bogie trailing cars or power car NEM pockets as well. All prices I'll mention at the end of the video. As mentioned, these are already available on eBay and also on the Made Me page, so hopefully you'll be able to find these quite easily. I'll put the links in the description below, but let me just talk you through this conversion first, and we'll start with the original Hornby type. So to begin with, we have our converters, which will do 8 carriages. We do them in 4 as well on the Make Me page, so if you wish to grab a smaller pack, you can do. They are the stepped type of NEM pocket for Hornby bogies. Tools, you'll need a file, you'll need a fiberglass brush to just roughen the surface up slightly, pencil to mark things with, and also a cutting disc or some sort of jeweler's saw or something along those lines. So let's take the bogie off the carriage as I move some of these parts away. This is just for the Hornby one, so simply pull back, There we go. Cool, that was tight. So they're quite tight if you need any warning. So that's that bogie off. Now they're called stepped for a reason. You can see we have a nice flat surface here, which then steps down onto the big D type coupling. Now this is what we want to remove. So you'll also need some cutters as well, which I forgot to mention. My apologies. So what we're going to do is going to cut off the big D. We're also going to cut off the underside of where the hook is mounted, which will then leave us a surface to work on. Okay, so you can see I've removed the big D type coupling, tension lock and the hook as well underneath, so that leaves us with a nice flat area. So I've removed the NEM pocket just here from the sprue using some cutters, which you just saw, and what I will do, because they are mounted this way around, so facing outwards, with the front face facing this edge here, so it's got something extra to glue onto. So we want to measure this up and get it in the center. So we'll just put a center line. If you measure this up carefully, you should be able to do this. I'll do this by eye on this one. I'm just using the pencil to mark out where we're going to cut it. I'm going to use the old hole for the hook. That's reasonably in the center, so you can see what we've got to remove. I'm just going to remove this section here. I'll use that with the Dremel, and then we'll cut that out and get on to the next stage. So as you've just seen from the very quick sequence, it was checked, not glued in place, height was good, and KD is at the right height, so that means the coupling pocket is also at the right height. So what I'll do now, as this is not glued in at all, as you can see, I use a fiberglass brush, roughen up the surfaces so it gives it something to key to and stick to. After that, I'll get some araldite, 2-part araldite. There's some leaky araldite just here. Mix that up, apply it to the area, not too much so it doesn't ooze out and go everywhere, and then stick this in place, knowing it was at a good height. Maybe angle it up just a tad to avoid the sag, because these do sag, these NEM pockets, they all do, because unfortunately all the coupling manufacturers all have different thicknesses and it's rather annoying, but if you angle it up slightly it should compensate for the droop, and that will fix in place quite nicely. And that's how you do a standard HST Mk3 coupling pocket for the original tooling. So what we'll do now is go on to the other bogie type which you can find with these HSTs. So following on from that one, we have the other type of bogie, which is the second tooling that we cater for. You will find this bogie on two types of HST, or train pack, or whatever you want to call them. This comes with the Royal train pack, and this particular bogie is from that pack, the grey version with green springs, so Mark 3s, and you will also find it under the GNER version as well, which is black with red springs. And we call this internally here the Airfix coupling solution. So we have a retainer clip over the top which clips into the side, and a central pin which comes up from the base, and then this tension lock has sort of a U-shaped clip in the end, and that pushes in and locks in around that pin. Now we do have solutions to the Airfix one, which we've been selling for a very long time now, and these are pretty simple to install, not too much hassle. Unfortunately they only come in black, so I'm sure you can paint them or put them in primer or something. You can paint the NEM pockets, not a problem, with a plastic based spray paint or something along those lines. You will need some tools, some file or a file, some cutters, and also your fiberglass cleaner or abrasive brush, maybe a screwdriver to get the clip off as well. But it's pretty straightforward. The NEM pockets come in 16s, and they are sold on eBay in 16s with the two HST Power car clips which go on the bogies, and there are 4s available if you require them, but that's only through Made Me if you wish. So let's get on with it before my battery runs out and show you how it's done. So here is our HST bogie, and you can see it just clips in underneath. So I might just need my small screwdriver again just to unclip. There you go, that's the housing removed, and off comes the tension lock, which you can just pull out as well, and that reveals the central pin in the centre here. Now this one's got a sort of an indent here which shouldn't really have a problem with in the end. It's quite straightforward. So basically we need our cutters. We need to leave the two central pillars here. Just get those in there if we can. Then we need to file down this section here so it's nice and flush with the surrounding outer areas. So as you can see, we've removed the clip, we've removed the tension lock, and we've removed the central pin here. So I have a separated tension lock here from the sprue. Just make sure that's nice and clean and away from all the debris. And as you can see, it's nice and tight. You can literally hear that creaking to go in. You can see that pretty much retrofits into there. A small dab of glue on the outsides. Now, as I mentioned, that indent on the underside here. Now, you have a couple of options actually. You could just leave it as it is, it should be okay. Or you could file out the sides of the grey here and allow the pocket to be pushed back further into the actual recess. And there's plenty of room behind here, so there's no way of actually stopping the pockets or the coupling to go in. So I might just do that and see how that looks. There we go, that looks a lot nicer and tighter fit in there, so it looks a lot better and nice and flush, no problem. So it should be pretty straightforward when you can glue it into position. And also always remember to check that your pockets is at the right height, so always use a height gauge, or just check with another bogie or another model that you have with an NEM pocket on it. So that one's pretty much straightforward and ready to go. I'll just run it through for checks and that should be good to go. So on the test track, let's just see if it fits and levels up okay. Yeah, that looks good. Great height. If you're wondering why the coupling bar is a bit high by a mil or so, that's because this KD came off of a kit built wagon or something or other, and unfortunately The coupling bar has been adjusted slightly, but what's important is the knuckle head height, which is absolutely perfectly in line with the other, and the coupling pocket is at the right height as well, so that's perfect. So this can go back on a carriage, or maybe I'll slap it on to the old Mark III, which I have just to the right hand side, and that's good to go. So now I'll go to summarize, and hopefully that helps you convert your HST and Mark IIIs to NEM pockets, so you can put whatever coupling you wish on it. So we'll summarize where to get them from, prices, etc. Summarize when and where and what price. I can tell you this. So already they're on eBay. Some of them have already sold out, unfortunately, but they will be restocked very soon. Now they're in 3-pack types, as eBay allows me to do this. Unfortunately MadeMe does not, which is why you have to do it separately. So sticking with eBay, pack 1 for 2 HST Power Car NEM pockets are £6. Then the 2 Power Car pockets plus the carriages for Hornby is £14, or the 2 HST Power cars plus the Airfix type of NEM pocket available for £14 as well. On MadeMe, the pricing is slightly different because we can't do the sub packs and additional packs, so you'll have to buy the 2 HST Power cars separately, which is £5.50, and then the carriage types separately as well, £7.60 for the Hornby ones and £8 for the Airfix type. I hope you found that useful. The links are in the description below, and I look forward to your orders very soon. Any questions, please post them below and I'll be happy to answer them. As for Lima ones, as long as I can get hold of a unit, I will have a look, but unfortunately I do fear it might be slightly difficult to do due to the vacuum tanks being in the way, but we'll see. We'll keep it open and we'll keep looking. Thanks for watching. See you again very soon, and happy modelling.